de Úsala Media. Estamos aquí de nuevo con su programa La Mesa Redonda de Round Table en el corazón del barrio hispano en la ciudad del amor fraternal. Les habla Fernando Mendez en compañía de Johan Bermúdez al tablero y nuestro co-host, Martin Pratt.
Yes, I'm
Bueno,
here.
um, yeah, we're going about talking about
Politics, City Hall,
the value of real estate in Philly and all
City
that.
Council.
Yeah, what's happening? Another thing that I have, another segment from Billy Penn News. Illegal sidewalk parking at the Free Library jams up ADA entrance.
Hmm. hmm.
Americans.
I thought you were talking about the ADAs for the assistant district attorneys. I was like, I don't care about them.
No, Americans
Okay.
with disabilities,
Okay,
Martin.
yeah, okay, all right, okay.
Yes.
All right.
The ADA. The other
ADA
people,
that matters.
They,
The ADA that matters, not the ADAs that don't.
Well, it could be that at the DA they might also have people with
Yeah.
disabilities, so
F that.
they don't know how to park. Anyway, cars blocking the sidewalk, cars blocking the roadway. There are tons of vehicles parked illegally on the pedestrian paths behind the Free Library's main branch on the Ben Franklin Parkway. Now, that in that area, there is a police station that is prominent. You think by then, these guys probably should control the traffic there. I don't know. They probably say we're not traffic cops, right?
Mm.
That wouldn't be much different than many Philly streets because, we know what happens downtown with parking. Center City, I keep predicting that someday they're going to have to forbid cars to come into the center of town.
You're starting to sound like Bloomberg. Stop talking, Fernando.
Unless they
Stop
live
talking.
there.
Engineer cut his mic. We're not going to see you.
Well,
Blasphemous.
I like Bloomberg.
It was blasphemous. We're not going to. We need to have vehicles in the city.
No, we
you can't.
don't.
You can't. You
No, we
can't.
don't.
You can't gate up. So you can't not create a gated community, Fernando.
Yes, we can. And we will try that.
No,
We forbid people like you from coming in.
I don't have a car.
Oh,
I
good.
walk.
Yeah, well, even walking.
I have a scooter. I have a
Even
scooter.
walking, we
I have
will
a
not
scooter.
allow you to come
I have
in.
a scooter.
I'm going to make sure I put your picture on the wall. Like the FBI does. Please, do not allow this individual to come in. Anyway.
I'm trying to find out from our engineer. Is Vincent Thompson on?
He said it was. But
I know. That's why I don't.
that was a while ago. We don't
Right.
know. Apparently, he came and went
Okay.
and
well,
didn't say a thing.
Right. So I texted Vincent. Wait for Vincent to get back to me. See what's
From
going on.
vacant lot to garden, a North Philly school is transformed. A Puerto Rican family's recipes passed down for generations are now displayed on the side of a local public school at about 500 times the original size. Those mementos and others are now part of a project from the Mural Arts Restore Spaces program, which transformed the outside of William Cramp Elementary School in Fairhill.
I feel some kind of way about that. I don't feel comfortable with that. Do you feel comfortable with that?
You prefer graffiti to the mural art?
No.
You would.
No, that's not
Yeah.
graffiti.
I
I'm
think-
saying. I feel like.
I think
feel
you're
like,
the hooligan at heart.
Here's the thing. You got to understand. The
Yeah.
colonizers
Yeah.
come into our community to gentrify them, and they
Oh,
also come. Wait. They also come into our community to take pictures next to murals.
Yes.
And so now, you have some guy in Amsterdam or Brussels
Yes.
that sees this picture on Instagram
Right.
and tries to make this tamales, dish.
Yeah.
And instead of using, ground beef, polo loco, or any of that, they use some kind of Venus sausage and call it, Brussels tamales or whatever. All because we put the dang on recipe on the wall for these colonizers to see.
So what's the problem with that?
Hello.
how
do we keep our culture? We have to understand how to keep hold of our culture and stop selling out
By
for
sharing.
not for zero.
Yeah,
Zero. Do you think
when
that?
we share?
Let me
we're
ask
selling
you.
it out?
Let me ask you a question.
Wow.
This is good. Great. I'm glad you brought this up
Yeah.
because what's the white woman that has a show?
Who?
What's the white woman that has
A lot of people have shows.
No,
yeah.
the Martha Stewart.
Martha
When Martha Stewart put her famous lemon and pound cake recipe on a wall, Hell no.
How do you know?
Duh, because she everything she does, she
She
has
gets
a
money for
contract.
it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And that's my point for now.
So your point is all about money. Uh, so I don't know. The the problem with that, I don't see a problem. The problem I see is with you impeding progress.
No,
People communicate. People
no.
share
No, it's
things.
ego. It's ego. What the
That's why
colonizer has done. That's why they could come in our
colonizers.
that's why they could come
That's
into
it.
our community, the Aztec community. They could come into the Mexican Indian community and they could give them trinkets.
You,
That's a trinket. This is we should do a protest and say, I will not accept your fake prestige and sell out our culture, my grandmother's recipe on some wall for some kids from Dutch or from Amsterdam take an Instagram picture next to it. Oh look,
I'm all for sharing everything.
where's the money?
That's how the world.
Where's the money?
That's how the world grows.
No, no. And then, you know what?
Progress.
And honestly, if she had, when I say she, you know what I'm talking about. If she had partnered with the Free Library of Philadelphia has food trucks. And what she should have done is had a food truck tasting there of the recipe and gave free food out to that community. Because they got the budget at Mural Arts for that stuff.
Yes.
And so that should have been an opportunity for Spanish chefs to come in and do their own version of that recipe. But see, people sometimes in this city, they're so quick to want to throw something at the community and say, look, we did a good job. Look.
Well, let me finish with the segment. The building is now covered on all four walls by vibrant murals, and the ones underutilized back courtyard and the ones underutilized courtyard, listen to that, underutilized, nobody used it before, right, has been turned into a community garden. So there you are. That is progress, I believe, but you apparently are opposed to progress.
I love the fact it's community garden. My question is, where does community benefit monetarily? You know, we talk about how much money flows to this community. The black community in Philadelphia, the Asian community in Philadelphia, and the Spanish community in Philadelphia needs to get its dang on respect. Put respect on our blocks and not trying to make our blocks destinations for...
Somehow you're conflating a lot of different issues into something. You're trying to make a controversy, turning a tamale into a volcano or something. I don't know. You are exaggerating the effects of this and distorting the whole issue.
This is not obfuscation. This is real.
You are trying to. You're like you could be working for Trump, trying to obfuscate every issue that is.
You know, those communities are opportunity zones. So I guarantee that community is an opportunity zone, and there could be a program running to that point about Trump. There could be a program running right now with some money from a real estate investor, and the reason why he's gonna work is because he got. Guess what? They upgraded that building and made murals on all four sides. So now a real estate investor is going to come into that community and be like, oh, look, this is an up-and-coming community. It's great for gentrification. Give us the dang on community garden and stay off the walls. We don't need... And wait a minute. Let's back up, Fernando. So are you for painting a building that has asbestos inside with art? Like, think about that. Do we know what's happening inside this building? And they had the nerve to put murals around it? Do we know how much lead is in that building? Do we know how much asbestos is in that building? And they painted outside like it's the greatest thing.
I mean, do you know something about this building?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I'm like, that to me, you know, Philadelphia has this thing where they want to fix the street before they fill the pothole. Fill the pothole first and then fix the street. In other words, we need stopgaps. And so to me, the thing would be to say, has that school been inspected? What's the history of the teachers getting sick in that school?
See, that's your homework for the next time. Find out.
No, that's Mural Arts homework.
Find out.
That's their job. They get picked. We don't get a salary for this. They get a salary for this.
Do you want to report on this, or do you just want to speculate and invent accusations?
I guess we could do, you know, a little bit of
you know,
solution journalism.
Do your duty. Who,
where,
you're
how,
right. When.
I did just get a grant from Solution Journalism to do solutions.
Exactly. So
is
it money wasted that they gave you?
Well, technically, I didn't got the money yet, but,
Yeah.
but yes, I'm scheduled to get in.
I'm going to investigate that. I'm going to have to
Hey,
talk to the
it's
solutions
it's
people and
it's right on their website, so you know
Gene
investigation.
Friedman.
It's
Yeah.
no, Gene's not. That's not.
No?
No.
Solutions?
Solutions Journalism is a different company. They're a totally different nonprofit.
Lenfest?
No, actually,
No?
but Linfest did give me money to go
So
to their summit.
what misguided people gave you money for
Solutions
invest?
Journalism,
apparently, they don't,
Jules Hertz,
apparently
uh,
they don't understand what they have done.
Michael Simmons. These are they're in New York.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not here.
In good conscience, Martin, you should
Yes,
return that money.
I haven't got it yet.
Okay, before you get it.
No, I can't do that now. I'm on the website, my picture and
Okay.
everything.
Oh boy, does it say wanted?
No, absolutely not. It says proud person teaching solutions journalism to high school and college students
Okay.
to stop the next generation of journalists from turning into Fox anchors.
Okay, well, actually, congratulations, Martin. I'm kidding about all the,
Of course
I'm,
not.
I'm trying to discredit you, but you actually,
Thank you.
you deserve that. You're doing a good job. So, yeah, put it to good use. Let's
Yeah,
investigate
yeah.
some
Well,
stuff.
let's find out what that. So I have to gotta find the address of that school and all
The
that stuff.
Pennsylvania Senate voted to hand over the lieutenant governor's mansion to a state veterans group. So that's a good thing, right? The move
We need
comes
to have
after
the
Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman and Second Lady Giselle Fetterman decided to forego living in the taxpayer-funded residence.
Yes, and we need to have John on the show. John's a friend to Pencil and Pen
Yeah?
Club. I think
Well,
he's going to come to the Pencil and Pen Club
If
in
you can
2020.
do that, that would be great.
Oh yes, I've heard that people are not happy with the lieutenant governor because he doesn't come in a lot of media.
Uh
But I think because of who he is and his story, he'll come on Usula.
huh. Yeah, he should come.
He's one of the man for the people.
Man for the people.
Hmm.
Well,
Unlike Mr. Krasner.
yeah. What is happening there? Every day, I hear more and more people are unhappy with the liberal bent of that office and
He-
what.
Here's the
Forget about
deal.
liberal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
He has not done a good job of explaining. I hate to use this term because of our almost impeached president uses the term of both sides. So crime.
there are good people on both sides. Yeah.
Well, and there's the issue of punishment matching the environment that was created for the crime to exist.
Okay.
And so that's really it boils down to. He's trying to match punishment with the environment that crime exists in. And so if you try to attack two problems at once, you have to have a good communication strategy.
Mm-hmm.
To me, he has zero communication strategy.
Yes.
So that's a problem. And I don't want to defend him, nor do I want to stop some of the good programs that are coming out of the office. However, what I will do is, Mr. Krasner, please freaking communicate.
Please explain.
Yes, communicate.
Well, but he apparently is failing to do that even within his office because there are many people inside, like inside the White House. You know how many?
Yeah, I just
the
interviewed.
same thing here with Mr.
Yeah,
Krasner.
yeah. I interviewed somebody who left his office yesterday, and I'm not going to name the person, but that person went on to become in a higher office, and so that was one of the issues. It's I don't know if it's a inability to communicate,
Yeah.
or is it because of lawyer? There's a lot of this stuff. I mean, unlike Trump, everybody else that's in politics went to law school. So lawyers have this thing where they just really don't tell you the facts unless it's within that case, within a certain square box of that case. So when you try to talk to lawyers outside of law and just hang out with them, they're very cautious about how they say things because they're always thinking they can be sued for what they say. And I don't know how. I often wonder. I worked for a law firm. One of the partners was a really cool, laid-back guy, liberal guy. The other partner was Cuban, Republican, and so it was really interesting.
Marco Rubio.
Yes, Circo from Cuba, Simon from America, both worked together, Jewish firm, but completely opposite policies. Mr. Simon, I went to for anything I needed to get done that would help the office. Mr. Circle, I went to report every Friday what I did. And Mr. Simon would always pop in my meeting and say, "Hey, Martin is doing a good job. Gotta keep him around," and walk out. Because Mr. Circle was just like Trump.
Wow.
And whatever he believed in his head, either it was the office, which was in World Trade Center, or it was his horses on Long Island. Those are the only two things he cared about. Just like Trump only cares about his real estate or his name.
Well, I'm
So I don't know.
very
President
well
might care about.
acquainted.
I don't know what he cares about.
I don't know what he cares about, but this is one narrative,
Yeah.
one tale I've heard from that office, that the police are unhappy with many of the decisions in that office.
Oh yeah. Well, the
Because
U.S. attorney is.
they don't want to punish anyone, apparently. And so there's somebody I know very well went to the police to report having been assaulted downtown, trying to steal her bicycle. And the police told her they don't do anything about that because they don't consider that a crime. She could identify the individual from just knowing it's a list of, I guess, a page of criminals someplace. She could point out to who did it, and it didn't matter because they had pictures. They took photographs now with a
camera,
a telephone. Yeah.
So I wonder. I think next week I wasn't going to go to it, but maybe because of this conversation, I am going to go to it. Malcolm Jenkins is having a meeting about what the next police commissioner should look like, and I don't know if you know, but what just happened with the chief inspector who just arrested for assaulting three women police officers.
Right.
My question to the police department would be: so, are you saying if I have an electric prod that I carry around with me, not a gun, not a taser, but electric prod like you do with the cattle prods, and someone tries to steal my bike, and I shock him,
you're in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's not a crime. Remember, I assaulted him. It's not a crime. If the victim does it, then it's a crime.
No, you're in trouble. The other guy is okay. The thief is okay.
Well, I guess
you're in trouble.
I gotta aim for his balls then.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Martin. And with that comment, we should talk to our lawyer first before continuing this show. Señores oyentes de UCLA Media, estamos aquí en la mesa redonda de Round Table. Les habla Fernando Mendez en el corazón del barrio hispano, en la ciudad del amor fraternal. Johan Bermúdez al tablero, Martin Pratt making remarks here that our lawyer would question. I will not repeat what you said. So,
the B word?
No se vayan, regresamos en un momento. Cállate.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Señores oyentes de USA la Media, estamos aquí en la mesa redonda de Round Table en el corazón del barrio hispano, en la ciudad del amor fraternal. Les habla Fernando Mendez en compañía de Johan Bermúdez al tablero y Martin Pratt, making remarks here that could get us in trouble with the FCC.
No, it's not.
Huh?
No. It's not on a list of words.
Well, it's not.
Especially not since our president has been tweeting out way worse words that people have to repeat on air.
Yeah.
Like human scum.
Like certain countries.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. And that's definitely a banned word.
Yeah. Remember, there was
He's done so much. It's like you say, remember, it's like, the
there was
200 last things he
no,
did?
there was a list of 7 words that you couldn't say on the radio or television. Right?
Yes.
But it's still there, at least, right?
Yeah.
F words and
Yes.
so on.
Yes. The B word.
Anyway.
You can say damn, though. And hell. Yeah.
Oh, boy. I prefer not to, Martin.
Well, what if there was a Spanish version of damn Yankees play? You would have to say, this is the Spanish version of the damn Yankees play.
But I wouldn't translate that because I would say damn Yankees.
Right.
There would be a translation.
Oh, got it. So what's the translation for the...
You cannot translate proper names. It's like, my students, when they're learning Spanish, they try to say, I said, where do you live? And so they would say, calle ancha, meaning broad street. I said, that doesn't work. You know why?
Yeah.
You tell a friend to go find you at calle ancha.
Right.
They will never find you.
Right. Right. Because calle is not
No, it's okay. Calle is okay. Ancha, however, meaning broad,
yes,
nobody will find you, ever.
Right.
There's no such a place.
Exactly.
So, anyway.
Nuance.
Yes. That's
Can we teach? So that's the thing. We when you talk about teaching, and going back to your 70,000 students that have passed through your doors when you were a teacher.
7,000.
Yeah, 7,000. But they know 10 people in the family. So that's 70,000 people.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So really, you taught.
And you do get to meet a lot of the families, which is interesting.
Exactly. So, in your opinion, one of the issues we have in education, maybe not so much in Philadelphia, because I think context in Philadelphia is really important. You have to understand the context of being in Port Richmond versus Brewerytown. There's a context that you understand. There's a context to understanding who Steve Gerrard was versus I don't know, William Penn, we'll say. So
now
this city teaches context.
But do you think
in teaching, should we be going back to teaching context, nuance as part of the lesson?
Context, important. Okay, I've always believed in that because context would tell you a lot about why a decision was made, for instance.
Right.
Okay, and so you have controversial decisions that have really bad results, like going into Iraq.
Right.
And that was...
Or leaving Syria.
With
people throwing potatoes at your head.
Or Reagan with giving weapons to Iran.
Yes. Or
the Iran-Contra thing.
Right. Or bringing drugs in to fund his with G. Gordon Liddy and Oliver North.
Okay, but here's the context. Let's say the context of going into Iraq. At that point, there was great support for finding the people who were accused, was the guilty people for having destroyed the 2 towers in New York.
Yes.
So there was support. Even Giuliani at that point. Remember, Mayor Giuliani was a hero of the 9/11 attack by the terrorists, and Mr. Giuliani is now under investigation for illegal actions, illegal campaign.
I don't see a way out for him in this situation. I could see a plea deal, maybe, but
the way out for
he's going to do some jail time. I think
the way out for him right now is to keep quiet. He's probably talking to his lawyers more than talking to anybody.
And it's true. Last week he's been the last 5 days, right? Right, the vampire is
All of it.
gone.
Yeah.
He went back to his cave.
It's like some people like Sarah Huckabee. Have you?
Oh no, she's not saying
No, nothing, right?
silence.
The only thing she managed to do, she put an end to the White House briefing.
Yes.
Now,
that is her legacy.
the irony is they revived the briefings to bring Mick Mulvaney on. And what did he do?
Worse than Spicer.
Uh,
Remember Spicer when he said the crowd was huge, it was large, it was the biggest crowd ever, and people were like, really, Sean? Like we can actually see the crowd. We can actually we have a camera that's actually
this
right.
picture, yeah, I know.
Like,
Or when Trump doctored the map to explain how the hurricane was to.
or when the doctor said that Trump is in the best health of any president
He's like
ever.
a Superman. You will live forever. Anyway, lies
We
and
need to start a
exaggeration.
petition. We need to start a petition because Trump said he's going to go to the World Series game on the
He
5th.
shouldn't be there.
Wait, no, wait.
Yeah.
Wait. If he's in the best health ever now,
Throw the ball.
right? That's it. That's hashtag. Hey Trump, throw the ball. Hey Trump, throw the ball. Let's see your little tiny fingers throw a ball.
Yeah, nothing. Oh man. Yeah, the doctor who said he was Superman, but all the people around
Yeah,
him.
what was that? He was. It's just I don't even want to talk about the story, but it was just the what he was accused of and what he I think was established. Even if he wasn't accused of the exact thing he was accused of, what was established was he was doing drugs, and he was doing alcohol.
The doctor?
Yes,
Uh,
at a conference. Yeah, like even if he didn't do the assault that he was accused of, those two things should be enough. You and I would have got fired immediately. We wouldn't have.
yeah.
The black woman who was accused, she didn't do it, but was accused of discriminating against white farmers
Yeah.
over the weekend. They didn't wait till Monday. They fired her on a Saturday.
Yeah.
By Monday, Roland Martin and Barack Obama had to apologize, and the department that fired her, because she actually didn't do what they accused her, what the Republicans accused her of doing. It was a lie. But she was gone with 24 hours. This doctor was allowed to stay,
I know.
have his pension,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
write a book,
Right.
and he's an alcoholic, basically, and a drug head.
And he probably goes to Mar-a-Lago to visit Trump all
Yes.
the time, right? Yeah.
For
Yeah.
the orgy parties they have.
Like the Attorney General.
Oh my God, that this
How about that
this guy.
Huh?
Yeah, he's gonna he. Now, so who's worse? That's the question. Like, is Barr worse than Giuliani, or are they coins of the same
Barr
side?
no, he's worse than Giuliani because Barr actually has an official position.
That's a good point.
Giuliani-
He's supposed to protect this damn
Giuliani
country.
was a volunteer. He wasn't even getting
Right, he
paid.
didn't get paid. Not by Trump.
No,
Directly.
He was not directly.
But the case can be made. He got into the influence was a monetarily.
But
Gift.
Giuliani used his access to the president as currency.
So, yes,
I can do
imagine-
this for you. That is a quid pro quo.
Imagine Eric Holder running around
The
New
world.
York, well, I would say New York to
Right.
find out who Trump has talked to about Barack Obama's birth certificate.
I know.
Imagine that. You know how fast Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell would have convened a hearing. They wouldn't even wait for the House
Yeah.
to impeach
Asking for this
the
guy
Attorney General.
to be let go.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
And imagine Eric Holder saying, "I'm not coming. You can try to subpoena me. I'm the damn Attorney General." Do you imagine Eric Holder saying?
a couple of things here about this Attorney General.
The Marines would have
Remember,
been
he's
deployed.
the one who summarized the Mueller report
Oh,
into
yeah,
4
yeah,
pages,
yeah,
saying there was no collusion
Yeah.
and no impropriety on the part of the president. Okay, no obstruction, no collusion. He did that, and that sort of stopped Congress from doing anything about the Mueller report, which had at least 10
Well,
10 items to prove that the president obstructed justice and the president was corrupt.
Well, unfortunately, about that,
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the news this morning.
I
The
know
Department
that
of
now the
Justice-
Department of Justice is investigating
itself.
the investigators because I don't know.
And so my question would be, is so I have a theory that one, Trump is self-sabotaging on purpose, especially with the Syria move. He wants to be out. He's tired. He's done. So that's one.
Martin,
Two.
let me talk about the Syrian move. Okay, go ahead, but I'll talk about the Syrian move in another.
Okay. Well, the other thing is that my theory also about Trump to some degree is everything happens for a reason. Universe, doesn't make mistakes, and so this investigation of the Department of Justice investigating itself will definitely bring up some interesting things that are how the Department of Justice works. And I think for the next president and the next president / also us as citizens, peeling back the onion, many times we've had these horrible racist attacks on citizens, and the Department of Justice has refused to investigate.
Right.
So now we'll be able to see what is the bar, pun intended, to create an investigation, and how are these agents influenced by each other. And so that will lead to, hopefully, whoever the next, and if it's Elizabeth Warren, I would be really interesting to see if they're able to clean up the process in these departments. Because the State Department is being investigated by itself and slightly, and the Department of Justice. So now we're starting to see what's the process that things actually work. Now, it's just me and you, people like us that are awake, that are looking at this. But I still think that's a really interesting dynamic that's coming out of this situation.
Yeah, now that you mentioned Elizabeth Warren, I will predict here that she's not going anywhere.
Well,
I don't care how much money she has.
Right.
She will represent an extreme swing from right to left. She has been
I think it's going to be
called
Biden and Buttigieg.
A socialist.
Yep.
So she will be destroyed. Buttigieg is picking up speed because he is more moderate. The problem that he has right now is his link to Facebook, and he has to get rid of that.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if he has to get rid
That
of
is a big problem for him.
I disagree. I think historically, so my office on the 15th floor at the Graham Building, I found out we're directly across the window from guess whose office?
Biden.
Yes. I was up in the office Tuesday night when the debate was on.
Yeah.
And I just happened to a friend of mine come by. It was like 8 o'clock. We were sitting in the conference room, dark, windows. We can't, nobody see us.
Right.
And we're like, what is that word spelled backwards? B-I-E. Oh, that's Biden's office. And they're in their teamed out. To your point, I see Buttigieg and Biden 2020. That's my prediction.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was Biden Warren, but I think she has gone too far to the left.
Right. And she can't come back.
Her anti-capitalist speech is not going to sell in the next election.
Right. And because we need that and also the plans. Somebody said the one plan she doesn't have is how to bring America together.
Yeah, right.
She got a plan for everything but that.
Now, as far as the impeachment process, the defense usually from Trump about everything, this process and everything that is directed at him, his strategy is always destroy the opposition, destroy the people who are accusing you, undermine their credibility.
Yeah. You can't do that with the diploma.
But he's trying to do that to the Democrats right now,
right.
saying they are anti-American, that they are plotting, that this is a deep state conspiracy to unseat
the only problem is that
the president, blah, blah, blah.
The only problem is that his office keeps leaking.
I know.
That's a great strategy if it was just him. The problem is that he got a whole bunch of people, and I think that we reached a point on that side, even in Senate, where they're realizing, like us, those of us who are black and brown, we have known this from day one about Trump. He is only loyal to himself.
Absolutely.
And slightly his kids. Not even his kids is that loyal to.
No, there's one that he doesn't even know what she looks like.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So, the Senate, all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, this guy keeps throwing us under the bus. You think? And so they're actually, to me, pivoting towards that space. If there's another bombshell where he, I don't know, he back channeled to Russia, it's okay to go into Syria now. Or whatever they figure out. Because, this is what Jared has been trying to do. From
Okay.
day one, Jared was trying to.
Yeah, Martin, that's what I was going to say about Syria.
Right.
It's a very deliberate strategy
Absolutely.
that obeys a plan that seems to have been designed by Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
You withdraw from northern Syria.
Right.
You allow Turkey to come in
Right.
and destroy the Kurds.
Right.
And then Russia will step in and
Save the day.
save the day.
Right.
That is an agenda
Right.
written by Putin.
Right. And I think this is a retaliation for killing the 300 Russian mercenaries that attacked our troops 2 years ago. Remember that?
Right, right.
We tore them to shreds.
Right, exactly. And we had destroyed ISIS, and now ISIS can be rebuilt.
Revitalized. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And Trump.
Now, the sick thing here's the thing about, I'm not going to say the 3-letter name of this agency, but I have to say,
The CIA.
don't talk about that. They should not be mentioned in the show.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Sort of. You might say, the counterintelligence that comes out of the situation, though, by allowing this to happen, this might be a long con.
Could be.
Because now you got Putin just, doing that willy-nilly, and he's kind of off his game.
He already lost.
Yeah,
The Russians lost.
It's going to be interesting. See
when
what
they
happens.
invaded Afghanistan. So anyway, Trump, like all dictators, doesn't like bad news. Doesn't want to hear anything against his philosophy. He has canceled subscriptions to the New York Times and the Washington Post.
He has said that he will. He didn't say he did it yet. That was the other thing about what
Well,
he
the
said.
headline was that he canceled them.
I think it's that he's
New York
selling
Times
people.
and no.
No?
New York Times and Washington Post will not be delivered to the White House. So anyway, we have come to the end of this edition.
And Philly
of-
Inquirer, I guess. No, that means no to Philly Inquirer, too.
we have come to the end of this program, La Mesa Redonda. Thank you, Martin Pratt, for being with us today.
No problem, Fernando.
And thank you, our listeners, for su sintonía en el día de hoy. Aquí nos despedimos desde La Mesa Redonda. Fernando Méndez, Johan Bermúdez al tablero. Los esperamos a ustedes. Hasta la próxima.